Good morning guys, we're back at it again. We got the lift. Somehow the driver is able to get his entire big semi down here. So he's just trying to turn around right now, but we got the lift. Driver was just getting a little bit stuck right there because the dirt is pretty soft at times, but he was able to get himself unstuck. So he's having troubles making this turnaround here. There was a tree right here. Just took the tractor, knocked that sucker down, but we still got a little stump right there that we got to make sure he doesn't hit with his tires. Oh, I think he's got her now. Oh yeah, no problem now. Woo! Beautiful. We're back at it again. As you saw earlier, we just got delivery of the lift. So this is a big boy right here, much bigger than the other lift. And what's actually nice about it is that it runs on gas instead of electric, because in order to charge the other lift, I'd always have to run the generator. It was harder to keep the lift at a full charge because when I would be done for the day, then I'd have to keep running the generator for another 3 or 4 hours to charge the lift. But damn, look at this guy here. So big, that platform is ginormous. So I got all the doors finished up. On some of these, I don't have the deadbolts in yet, so I'm gonna go to Home Depot because I have 3 doors that don't have deadbolts right now, but I want them to all have, or all use the exact same key. So hopefully I can get 3 deadbolts that use the same key. All right, sweet. Beautiful. So what I'm gonna be working on today is I'm gonna go along this one base rail that has the lean-on side because water could potentially get under the sheet metal and then go into the garage. So I'm just gonna take my trusty shop vac here and vacuum everything up because there has been some kind of dirt collection going on here. And then we're gonna take our trusty silicone caulk and run a bead all the way along there, all the way to the end. We don't have to do it on the other sides here. So where the base rail has the sheeting ledge, so that's what this is called, the sheet metal is gonna come down past the level, the bottom level of the base rail here and sit right on this ledge. So we don't have to run any caulk down there because water is gonna have a very difficult time going up against gravity and into the garage up there. When I'm done with that, I'm going to install all the J-trim that goes around the doors. Bill's gonna come over and help me tomorrow, and we're gonna do the J-trim around the garage doors. Once we have all that trim done, then we can start installing the sheet metal. So how exciting is that? All right, let's get started. So as they say, a neat and tidy work area is a happy work area. So running this bead of caulk, like I said, will help prevent any water from working its way under the base rail. Because if water were to get under it and sit under that base rail for a prolonged period of time, it can certainly rust it out. And I can even run another bead of caulk once all the sheet metal is installed, just to prevent it from even getting to that point as well. Because I did notice that on the lean-on side, when we do get some rain, there is some pooling in this area. So this will just help prevent, basically promote the longevity of the structure. Now I can remove all the composite shims from the outside of the door and start installing the J-trim. So the J-trim goes together pretty easily. I'm just going from the bottom to the top of the door frame and making an awkward cut here on camera for you guys, just so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. And then what's really important is with a lot of steel structures and getting sheet metal like this is that all the trim pieces will have some protective clear foil on it, or some plastic. And you always definitely want to take that off before you install it, and just remember that you have to take it off because it can sometimes be hard to see that it's actually on there, and then trying to remove it after the fact, after you've installed it, is quite tricky. So I'm just using some panhead screws to screw directly through the J-trim into the frame of the door, and then going across the top. The piece is a little bit different. So we take our measurement, which I believe was 35 inches, we add 2 inches, so cut it at 37 inches. And then from either end, on the bottom of it, you want to cut in basically a full inch, and then that'll give us a little piece that we can bend down around the vertical pieces of J-trim that I just installed, and just get that screwed into place. And then we've got a fully trimmed out door. But this is a pretty easy process, and it cleans up the look of the building quite significantly just by installing this trim. Alright guys, we got all the J-trim done around all the man doors. Now we're working on the garage doors. So Bill and I, we've already done the first one here. It's kind of hard to see with the lighting. But what we got here, so we have some angle trim here that covers basically the inside of the garage door. So that cleans it up. And then we've got the J-trim on this side here. So it's very similar to exactly how we're doing the J-trim around the doors, with the addition of the angle trim right here. So the angle trim only goes to right there, but the J-trim goes all the way down to the bottom of the sheeting ledge to match basically the other sheeting ledge, because that sheet metal is going to be going right down to here. So what I've had to do is, because where the AV mix ends, when we're doing the slab for the garage, it ends right about there, is that this thing was on too much of a tilt so it wouldn't go up. So we just had to add a bunch of dirt here with the tractor, and then it's a little bit more level, and then it'll go all the way up. Like I said, we got Mr. Bill again.
Back again.
Upside of downsizing. Beautiful. So having an extra set of hands to help install these trim pieces is really useful. It can be very tricky to do this type of stuff by yourself. So having Bill's help today was definitely very useful and very helpful. And the platform on the lift is so big. I think when it's fully extended, it's got to be almost like probably 12 or 13 feet long. It's quite significant, and you're actually able to have 2 people on there quite comfortably. You can even do some cutting, some tin snips up there, and get it all done. Now I'm installing the J-trim for this garage door. So pretty simple installation, the exact same way that we installed it on the doors, and then that just cleans up that corner, so when we butt up the sheet metal to it, it looks perfect and flawless. Bill just came up with a name for the lift. It's the party lift, because you could have a big party on here. Yeah. I gotta bleep that out. So installing the top piece of J-trim around the garage doors just goes together the exact same way. So we're cutting it 2 inches longer than the actual heading of the door, so it'll be 11'2", and then make our little in cuts an inch away so that we can bend that little flap over onto the vertical piece. So yeah, this lift is so much nicer to use, mainly because it is just run on gas, and I don't have to worry about getting it all charged up all the time, and it does really well on the dirt. So definitely recommend it for the outside of the building, and I'll also be able to use it on the inside of the building when I'm doing the lights and some of the electrical type stuff and some of the other kind of minor construction inside the garage. When the outside is finished, it's going to be sweet.
Oh baby, we got all the trim done around the garage doors. We got all the trim done around all the man doors. So guess what? We can start working on the sheet metal now. So I'm gonna start, I think, on this weekend. So I'll probably post this Saturday. So Sunday we'll start on the sheet metal and we'll start getting her done. And this thing's actually gonna start looking like a building instead of this frame. It's kind of crazy. You can actually see this, you can see the garage from down the road, and it's kind of funny just looking at it because you just see the silver and the glisten of the silver. But soon enough it'll be completely closed up and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Good time to quit. The wind's starting to pick up. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you on the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.